If you feel like that you're doing everything right, but the scale still won't move, I want you to hear this. It may not be a willpower problem. I see so many people every day who come to me and that or say they're eating better, they're trying to exercise, they're cutting calories, cutting carbs, doing intermittent fasting, and they're frustrated as hell because their body is not responding the way that they think it should. Does that resonate with you? And the first thing that they do is blame themselves. I may not be disciplined enough. I need to eat less. I need to work out harder. I've been there. I understand these. But sometimes the issue is not what you're doing on the surface. The issue is what's going on underneath. Your body is not just simply calories in, calories out type of machine. Weight regulation is influenced by hormones, blood sugar, insulin, inflammation, thyroid function, stress hormones, sleep, nutrient status, muscle mass, medications, and even how your brain is responding to hunger and fullness signals. So when someone tells me, Cindy, I cannot lose weight no matter what I do, my first thought is not, you need more discipline. My first thought process is why. And if you're a patient of mine, you've heard me ask this over and over and over. What is your body trying to tell us? One of the first things that I like to look at is blood sugar and insulin. You can have an absolutely normal fasting glucose and still have insulin levels that are higher than they should be. If your body is constantly producing a lot of insulin, it can make it much harder to access stored body fat. That's why I like looking beyond just glucose. I look at hemoglobin A1C, fasting insulin, and other metabolic markers that can give us the big picture. Then we have inflammation, the silent killer. Chronic inflammation can affect how your body responds to insulin, how you feel, your energy levels, your recovery, and even your appetite. That's where markers such as your high sensitivity CRP can be very helpful. We also want to look at thyroid. I just had this conversation today. Your thyroid plays a major role in metabolism, but simply being told that your TSH is normal doesn't necessarily tell us everything that we want to know about your thyroid. I run the full gamut. I want to look at the bigger picture, your symptoms, TSH, free thyroid hormone levels, and what else may be affecting the thyroid function. Then there's cortisol. Cortisol is your stress hormone, and stress doesn't only mean that you feel emotionally stressed. Poor sleep is stress. Overtraining is stress. Undereating for months at a time is stress. Working nonstop is stress. Illness and inflammation, huge stressors. And when that system is chronically dysregulated, your body may not respond to diet and exercise the same way that it once did. Another area that people often overlook is nutrient status. What is your iron, ferritin, vitamin D, and your magnesium? These are all nutrients that matter. If you're exhausted, you're not recovering well, your workouts are suffering, and your body is under nutritional stress, simply telling you to exercise more probably isn't the answer. We can also look at hormones involved in appetite and metabolism, such as leptin. Leptin is one of the signals involved in communicating energy availability and fullness to the brain. In some people, leptin can be elevated, yet the brain isn't responding to that little signal appropriately. That can go right alongside with metabolic dysfunction and difficulty regulating appetite and weight. I tell people all the time, if you're holding weight in your midsection, your body's producing too much insulin and leptin, doesn't know what to do with it, it's going to store this body fat. Then I look at your lipids, your liver and your kidney markers, a complete blood count, homocysteine, iron studies, and other basic health markers, because I don't want to treat somebody's weight in isolation. Your body is a whole. We treat it as a system. I want to understand the person. This is why I'm such a big believer in testing before guessing. It doesn't mean that every person needs every test imaginable. It means that if you've been struggling for months or years and nothing seems to work, there may be a value in looking deeper rather than starting another random diet, another peptide, another workout program. Because once we identify what may be contributing to the problem, we can build a health plan around you specifically. Maybe insulin resistance needs attention. Maybe sleep is the big issue. Maybe it's your thyroid that needs a closer look. Maybe you're chronically under eating and over exercising. I see it all the time. Maybe inflammation is high. I see that all the time. And maybe there are nutritional deficiencies that you're not aware of. Maybe you're losing muscle and your metabolism has adapted after years of dieting. And sometimes it's several of these things happening together. That's the difference between simply saying, eat less and move more, and actually trying to understand why somebody's body has stopped responding. And I also want to make something very clear. Labs are information. I always tell people all the time, don't be afraid of what they're going to tell you. It's a baseline. It's a way for us to get our shit together and get our lives back on track and get the body balanced. They're not the entire answer by themselves. I combine the laboratory findings with your symptoms, your history, your medications, your lifestyle, your nutrition, your sleep, your stress, and what has or hasn't worked for you in the past. I look at everything. That's how we start putting the puzzle together. So if you're frustrated because you feel like you've tried absolutely everything, stop assuming that you failed. Instead, ask a better question. What is potentially holding my body back? Find the root contributors. Understand your numbers. Then let's build a plan based on what your body actually needs. Because when you have better information, not inflammation, you can make much better decisions. And that's exactly what I want people to understand about advanced metabolic and weight loss testing. You're not chasing a number on the scale. We're trying to understand the physiology underneath it. All right. And especially as we age, we're not trying to find that perfect number anymore. We want longevity. We want quality of life. If you've been struggling to lose weight and you want to dig a little bit deeper into what may be contributing, schedule a consultation. We can determine whichever test makes sense for you. I want you to stop guessing and start looking for answers. There is hope out there. I promise. Keep the faith.